India says it has targeted 9 sites, quote, hitting terrorist infrastructure. In new video, explosions can be seen and heard in what Pakistan says is 3 areas, saying civilians, including a child, have been killed. We're also getting in this new video of chaotic scenes in a Pakistan hospital. Tensions between the two nuclear armed force powers soared after a deadly militant attack on tourists on Indian-administered Kashmir last month. There has been a long-running dispute over Kashmir between India and Pakistan for decades. And tonight, Lester, Pakistan just said it shot down 2 Indian jets. All of it a major test for President Trump, who tonight said, "It's a shame, I just hope it ends very quickly." Lester?
All right, Keir Simmons with that breaking news. Thank you. Thanks.
The Kashmir conflict has shaped South Asian geopolitics for more than 7 decades. The struggle between India and Pakistan over the territory has led to multiple wars, and the area is now one of the most militarized in the world. India and Pakistan are once again on the brink of all-out war, but to understand the present tensions, you need to go back in time. Let's rewind to 1947. This is what the map looked like when Britain partitioned its former colony. Pakistan, with a Muslim majority, was created in the west, and India to the east with a mostly Hindu population. War quickly followed in October. The Hindu ruler of the Muslim majority Jammu and Kashmir originally sought to remain independent, but when Pakistani militants invaded Kashmir, he appealed for Indian military help. The ensuing war lasted until an armistice was implemented on the 1st of January 1949, splitting Kashmir into 2 parts. Tensions continued, though, with the Second Indo-Pakistan War in 1965, again over a border dispute, and the last conflict in 1999, but by this point, both countries had gained atomic weapons, raising fears of a nuclear confrontation. Since then, both sides have continued to face off over Kashmir, with accusations of Pakistani support for terrorists, something Islamabad denies. The Mumbai attack was by far the most devastating, known inside India as its 9/11. In 2008, 166 people were killed over 4 days when 10 heavily armed gunmen arrived by sea from Pakistan, unleashing a coordinated wave of terror. The latest confrontation began 2 weeks ago after another barbaric terror attack, this time in India-administered Kashmir. A popular tourist destination was targeted, 26 people killed. One assailant reportedly told a survivor, "Go tell this to Prime Minister Modi." The calculated targeting of tourists appeared designed to provoke a strong Indian response. The attack was blamed on a group calling itself the Resistance Front, and it has links to Lashkar-e-Taiba, the same organisation behind the Mumbai attacks. India has long claimed LET is used as a proxy, something Pakistan denies. It says New Delhi has failed to show any evidence of complicity. India says its response has been measured and is not escalatory. But by striking compounds in the Pakistani heartland of Punjab, it's not being seen that way by Islamabad. Pakistan is calling the airstrikes an act of war. The main worry for the world and the region are the nuclear missiles aimed at each other. Pakistan has around 170 and India has 164. But even if the tensions are dialed down, as we've seen throughout the history, the underlying causes of the Kashmir dispute, steeped in unresolved colonial legacy, will remain and could break out at any time.
Hello.
With that, first and foremost, I'm going to give our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and blessings to the elders, the apostle of Great Millstone, The water Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, for the elder, the apostle on down, for waking me up to the wisdom, knowledge, truth, and understanding through the spirit, power, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom to the few Aki, me, the brothers, one pushing the truth and sincere across the four corners of the earth, where we might be scattered abroad that look like the other nations, whose bloodline go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. Shalom to the few Aki, I believe as well, me, the sister, one repent and come back to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, in these latter days. Shalom to the little boys and girls who the Lord will deliver also in these times to come too. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. All right, as you can see, man, you have these nations rising up against nation, which with these nations, the heathen nation going to war, all this basically is Bible prophecy. Because at the end of the day, with these two heathen nations fighting against each other, all this going to brew up the WW3. There where all this is heading to. There is where all this is heading to, World War III, right? And we're going to go to the scriptures and prove that these things that going on is biblical. And this also lets you know that we also living in the last day. We in the last time, the end of Esau-Edom rulership, when the last age, right? So go ahead and bring out a couple of scriptures, man, because like I say, man, we prophesize about these things through the spirit, power, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, and they jumping out the page right into these people's faces, but they not taking heed. The Lord got the prophets out there giving you, teaching and showing you through the spirit, measuring the times diligently with the scriptures and what's going on today in the earth, right? Now, I'm going to start with Habakkuk, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, in verse 2. It said, the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he might run to read of it. And that's what we doing, right? Making this vision, the prophecy, we making it plain upon table. To the point you can't get around it. When we teaching and prophesizing about these things that go on in the earth, about the World War III and nation rising up against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We telling you, we making it plain, but hey, you have the people, they don't want to take heed and listen. On with you repenting and coming back to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai before the Lord just crank up judgment on a whole nother level. All right, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch and sit, Shalakim. I will stand upon my watch and sit me upon the towers, and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I should answer when I reprove. And we're sitting upon our watch right now, right? You know, brother come across videos and, you know, all kind of different things that going on the earth. We sitting upon our watch. Why? So we can be able to collect the information, you know, what the Lord showing us, you know, in reality, and be able to link it back with the Bible, because this also reality. These are living words, right? We sitting upon our watch. We basically the news for the Israelites, right? We the one who the Lord using in order to get the information to the people, man, to guide the people, to stir them back to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, through the ways of what prophecy and telling the people to repent. But we sitting upon our watch and watching what the Lord say to us. And when we see these videos, the Lord, you know, speaking, you know, signs and things like that. The Lord give you signs, man. So when we come across videos, certain these are signs with the Lord speaking. We sitting upon our watch and trying to see what's going on, watching and see what's going on through the earth. And the Lord sit us upon our watch and he revealed these things, and we go back to the scripture and reveal it to the people. I will stand upon my watch, Shalakim. Well, now the children might, somebody going to answer them. Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the towers and watch, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I should answer when I reprove. Verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon table, that he might run and read of it. Right? That he might run and read of it. Right? So the prophets who Yahweh Shem Yahushua using, man. Hey, we taking these things what the Lord giving us, we making it plain upon the table, and we running with it. It say, for the vision is yet for a point of time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Thought it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So right, and it say the vision is yet for a point of time, man. And what that is for a point of time, the prophecy what we speaking on with WW3. This is only for a point of time before the Lord actually crank it up and bring the judgment to a whole nother level, right? Before he actually bring the final war with the Lord gonna bring on the earth, right? This prophecy, it just for a point of time, right? The Lord got to set up for a certain season for these things to trigger, from the MOTB, the food famine, pestilence, death, destruction, and like I said, also WW3. The vision is yet for a point of time, but at the end they gonna speak, and they speaking because we at the end now. The prophecy is speaking loud, man. Everything we teaching it is right here at the door, jumping off in your face. But it's only hey, you know, it's on Yahweh Shem Yahushua who he want to come in and put the spirit on to be able to receive it. But, you know, we still going to do our part of going out, you know, to the highways and hedges, letting these things be known through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, run that back one more time. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3. For the vision, the prophecy is yet for a point of time, right? For sacred season. It say, for a point of time, but at the end, it should speak and not lie. And these things are not lying. These things we teaching and prophesying about of no lie. Because everything we're reading about, WW3, like I say, MOTB, family, you got news articles and, you know, you got news articles and you go to the local news stations and things like that. And the thing we're reading, they showing it. Right? Yahweh Shem Yahushua putting all this in motion, man. It said, but the end it should speak and not lie. Thought he tarried, right? Even though it looked like it gonna be, it like a delay on it. You know, like, oh man, they prophesying, but ain't nothing gonna, man, they speaking on, man, this stuff gonna take place. Yeah, man, they been talking about World War III for years, man. This thing gonna pop. Hey, the Lord, on his time, the Lord ain't on our time. He on his own time. The Lord, the Lord got a perfect balance, man, for when all this stuff jump off. You know, so, hey, even though it like a delay, hey, it coming, though. Wait, you'll see it right around the corner, everything. But that's why you want to get it together before WW3 jump out, because this not only going to happen over there in India and Pakistan, this is also going to happen over here in America. Missiles going to be shot over here. You know, to the USA. This is going to be an all-out war in a few minutes. But even it say, thought it tarry, wait for it, because it would surely come, it would not tarry. So it gonna come, it's gonna happen. Right? This vision is gonna happen. The prophecy, what we speaking on, is gonna happen. The Lord stand on his word. The Lord's the power that he not gonna lie. Man will, but Yahweh Shem Yahushua not. Now this is Matthew's 24. And I start from verse 3. He said, he sat upon the mounts of the Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when should these things be, and what should be the signs of the coming of the end of the world? And this is the disciple talking to Yahushua. Asking like, when these things gonna be? They say, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many should come in my name, saying, I am Christ, meaning Hamashiach, you know, anointed, chosen, and should deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we've been hearing the wars and rumors of war. We're going to hear of World War I, World War II. Now the rumor with brewing up is WW3. That war is quickly brewing up through the other nations, man. Like you got Taiwan, China. Now you got India, Pakistan. You know, you got bumping head with Russia and China, with all these other nations, man. So we at the end of this thing. It's just a matter of time before the Lord gonna crank everything up. But like I say, first we have other prophecies had to play out before WW3, because when that jump out, they're gonna put the icing on the cake, because that's how the Lord gonna put it into this place. By what? Nuclear fire, nuclear missiles. ICBM missiles. That's how the Lord gonna put it in. That's gonna be that fire that gonna kindle on the earth. That physical fire. What the Lord gonna put down here. Verse 6. And okay. Matter of fact. Let me see. Revelation. Chapter 9, because like Matthew 24, you should hear wars and rumors of wars. This Revelation chapter 9 and verse 12. One woe is past, and woe go into destruction. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. So, hey, going back to John the Revelator, what did it say? One woe is past. So you already had World War I gonna pass. And like I said, the scripture say you should hear wars and rumors of wars. So you gonna have one destruction, what the Lord brought upon the people, upon each other, to go to war and battle. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes after. So what that two woe after? After one, you had two. Now we're in the bricks of what 3 happened. Now let's Revelation 12. Revelation 11 and verse 14. It say the second woe is past. See, it said you had one woe and 2 more after. But now when we go to Revelation 11 and 14, it say the second woe is past. See, now the second one gonna came. So that WW2. It say the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly. So this one coming quickly. And Yahushua told you, he come quickly. Yahushua coming quickly. So the Lord is speeding all these things up to take place, for these prophecies to take place. So why? So he can return and come back. We in the time period that Yahushua is on the way back quickly. These things approaching, they moving fast. It really ain't no time to make no terror to turn to Yahushua. You should want to do it now. Because like I say, the Lord got these prophecies, man. They moving, they jumping out the page. All right, Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly. The third woe come quickly. Right? Go back to Matthew 24 in verse 3. In verse 6. And ye should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. So the prophet, the Lord telling the disciples back then they shouldn't be troubled, but the same thing go with us. That we should be not troubled, because all these things they got to happen in order for Yahushua to return. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See, these things gonna happen, but the end not yet, because you got prophecies, major prophecy, 2 major prophecies got to pop off before Yahushua come. That's the MOTB and WW3, because the Lord gonna intervene during WW3. It say, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. This is what you're seeing right now. These nations rising against nations, and kingdoms against kingdoms. So, because you also gonna have race riots, nations going up against nations. You seen them move a civil war. Then you look at the part when the ones from the Americans, when they were damn, what they call this shit? Missing everything film record. I can't damn think of the name of it. Ain't no damn. At press, the American press, and you had the dude. He said he was American, but he looked like, he formed Hispanic or something. But anyway, when they was riding, when they pulled up on, like, the guy said he from Hong Kong, hopped in the car with the press from America, we say he knew. You know, the girl who with them switched cars. They were riding, they switched the cars out, where they were swapping, jumping in and out of cars. But anyway, make a long story short, they pulled up to like a little neighborhood. In the neighborhood, I guess when the other dude from Hong Kong, the American girl who jumped in the car with him, when they got to a certain place, they were out of the car. So you had the press, the ones that was the American press, had pulled up and like seen that basically they had got snatched out of the car. So they went into the backyard of a house. You seen the U.S. troops in the backyard dumping bodies. So when they came back there, they asked them like where they from, and they were telling them they're American. They're like, what kind of American? Like, you know, and they were named like from Colorado and, you know, Florida. So he like, oh, okay, you're a real American, original American. So they asked the little Asian dude, basically Chinese, Japanese, where he from? He was like, Hong Kong. And he shot him. You know, so you're going to have civil wars and things going on. Nation rising against nation. Civil wars, kingdom against kingdom. These world powers, leaders with the nuclear missiles, man. So, Matthew 24, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. And all these are the beginnings of sorrow. So all these are the beginnings of sorrow. What you see, the nation going to war, they blowing places up and killing children, dying in them places, man. Where the missiles get shot off at. The missiles ain't sparing. The Lord ain't sparing. Basically, kids dying and everything over there with this war going on. All right, jump to let's see. Real quick. Chapter 16. Chapter 16. Now, Shalaki, chapter 5th. Yeah, chapter 16. And I'm going to go to straight to the point. Verse 12. And it say, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great rivers Euphrates, and the waters thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Cause why? You figured that World War III gonna jump off it. The Lord clearing up the Euphrates River, man. These folk go over there across the river because it used to be a lot of water over there. But the Lord dried it up. Because why? The war gonna take place over there with all the nations. Right? The Lord gonna gather all these nations. I'm trying to find this scripture. Running back Revelation 16 and 12, it say, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great rivers Euphrates, and the waters thereof dried up. Like I say, you go look at it from back in the past with water, now it's dried up. It say that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. These ones who cross the water, where these folks at now. All right, jump down to verse 17. Verse 14, to the point, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty, the power Almighty. Gather them what great day? WW3. That is that great day. That's how the Lord gonna. That's how that fire gonna be. All over the earth. But you know, it really basically, America gonna be wiped out with it. But you got them other little places. You see the Lord got them missiles shooting, blowing up places. It's just gonna be a little something going on. But the most part of the earth, America is gonna be burnt. Like it's gonna be no inhabitant. You're not gonna be able to dwell here. Verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, or in the Hebrew Hargad, if I pronounce it right, Hargad mean mountains of the troops, because this is what these nations gonna come down to. Just told you, Freddie, this is what the Lord gonna call all these nations together to go to war. See, right now they got little individual wars going on in certain areas, but it gonna get to a point in time the Lord gonna gather all of them together. All nations gonna come together, and they gonna ballot it out. It's saying the verse 16, Revelation 16:16. It said he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, Hargad, in the Hebrew. It say, and the seventh angel poured out his vial. Oh, no. Well, yeah, that's all I want. Yeah, that's all I want on that was 16, right? Because there's the place to Armageddon, right? What the Lord got set up, right? Her God, the mountains of the troops, where the Lord gonna judge these nations at. Now let's go to Joel real quick. He gonna gather all these nations to a place called Armageddon. Now this Joel chapter 3, and I'll get straight to the point. It say, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. So he just said he gonna gather, he gonna bring all nations down to the place called Armageddon. But right here it say, the valley of Jehoshaphat, meaning Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh judgment. So the Lord gonna get together and what? He gonna judge all these nations in one, all together. When he come down, because the Lord gonna get them to come down, he gonna gather all these nations up to the battle, and so he can come down and conquer all of them in one. Take all of them down. That way they can get together and try to flex their military power and think they can be able to conquer something from a whole different round, man. Which they not. Alright. So it say, Joel 3:2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them, right? Judge them, will plead with them, therefore for my people and for my inhabitant Israel, who they have scattered among the nation and parted my land. So, right, because when you go back to Psalm 83, it tell you how they were confederate against thee. That the nation came together and cut Israel off. Let's cut Israel off from being a nation. So this is going to be the judgment for these nations. Right? The Lord is going to judge them by WW3, burn them up when he come down from the heavens with the chariots, with the gigantic father ship. That chariot look like how they show in Independence, that one big ship, along with the shuttle ship, with the rest of the chariots following him. Yeah, they going to come get busy. So the Lord going to strong like that. And also you're going to have these nations, what? They're going to go into captivity. So all this is going to be judgment for the people of Israel. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua paying these people back for what they done to the Israelites. All right. And I'm going to jump down to 9. On Joel 3:9, it said, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, beat your plowshare into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak sound strong. So all these little countries like Pakistan, Iran, India, and Iraq, these nations and what? Once upon a time, compared to America, these nations went here and know nothing. Right? But, you know, they buying nuclear weapons and things from America, but they selling them the weapon where they going to destroy them with. It's just like you sell a man a gun, a pistol, and he come back and shoot you with your own gun. And they ain't no more than what they doing. So the Lord, the Lord he's even applying these nations with the nuclear weapons and things, man. they plowshares, that they garden tools and things like that. They turn it in, man, selling them things to get their, selling them things to buy them nukes, train them out for the nukes, the missiles, the nuclear warheads. It said, proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man. It say, let all the man of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither, it say, cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. It said, cause the mighty ones to come down, right? Let me go get that real quick. Because like I said, the Lord gonna intervene during WWE3. So it cause the mighty ones to come down. Now, this is gonna be second Ezra 13 real quick. Because it said cause the mighty ones to come down. Yahweh Shai and the angels. Alright, and the second Ezra, I'm gonna start from 1. I'm gonna run through it. It said, it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved out the waves thereof. And I behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousand of heaven, right? And they see what the Ezra saw Yahweh Shai coming from, talking about the heaven, the gulf of space. Because we know the Lord not gonna come out the ocean. We know the Lord and the angels, they dwell in the heavens, right? So they're gonna come down. So it said, okay, what we just read in Joel, it said, make the mighty ones assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, and cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. All right, it said, and I beheld, verse 3, 2 Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousand of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. See, he said, had the mighty one to come down, and it would say everything trembled that was seen under him. All right, it say, verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, that's talking about the concentrated fire, the being coming out the bottom of the ship. And whensoever, it said, whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, that there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the numbers from the four winds of the heavens to subdue the man that came out of the sea, to do the man that came out of the sea, out of the heaven. Because the Lord also told you in Genesis, he divided the waters from the earth, from the waters in the heavens. So they see the Lord is talking about the representation of him for coming from space. But he just heard it said, hey, he came down and hey man, that he gonna shoot out the concentrated fire, they blast the fire. Yeah, they gonna cost them when they WWE3, when them nations get together, which it's the Lord gonna have them nations gather together, because the Lord controlling the whole scene, which they think they self probably they thinking they self without being spiritual, like, oh yeah, we just gonna get together, we just gonna go. No, the Lord put it together so he can come flex his power, so he can have them try to fight them, all them come together and one trying to fight him. That's why I say, and after this I beheld him lo, and there was gathered together a multitude of men, talking about the troops, the nation, the militaries, right? The men of war. It say out of the number from the four winds of the heavens, because what? You're going to have all these nations from the four corners of the earth gathering together to go to war. They all going to meet up. It say the numbers from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Talking about Yahweh Shai. They not going to conquer, they're going to try. It said, but I beheld, and lo, and he graded himself a great mountain. They're talking about this, that's a metaphor for that huge fathership, that chariot, so-called UFO. It say, it flew upon it, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. He can tell the chariot is so big, he can tell where it come from. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, and were so afraid, and yet their fight. So these nations, they going to war with each other right now. But when Yahweh Shai come, they going to see Yahweh Shai, they going to be scared as hell. But the Lord going to put the spirit on them to try to fight them. He said they seen him, they were so afraid, because you're going to see, man, something from a whole different realm, but only what you see in movies, and they actually going to come to reality that you're going to actually see it with your own 2 eyes, come from space, where they be talking about some UFOs and Spaceship, yeah. And chariots, UFOs, yeah, those are real. But you gonna see the one what they show in the movie, what they quite haven't no one seen yet. You see the little shuttle ships be flying, but you gonna see the one, it gonna be a massive ship, man. Gonna come and it gonna cover the whole, like you say, land, man. You're not gonna be able to tell what region or place it started coming from. AJ gonna exist in the air. You just gonna know, like, damn, I'm scared to shot these folks. And y'all about Shimmy Shot gonna get busy. Alright, so continue on. And after verse 6, 2nd Esdras 13 and H, like, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet there's fight. And lo, as he saw, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, because they gonna have little instruments of war with their missiles and pistols and fire jets trying to fight Yahushua. He ain't gonna have none of that. You gonna see blasted concentrated fire coming out the ship, like they show you the movie Independent. Shit, that concentrated fire came down and hit the White House and exploded. Verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of a numerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Woo! So Esdras said when he saw it, he was afraid, man. So the Lord gave him a vision, a glimpse of this. He actually had a vision. You had these nations, what they doing now, but it was all out war, man. We're going in even harder than what it is now. But Yahushua came down in the midst of it and got down on it and burnt all of them up. All right, but I'm gonna read on. It's a lot to get, but I think I'm gonna just do this one. Read a little more line and close it out. Because you can also go to Revelation 19 too, man, and go into the same thing. But back to Joel 3 and verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahushua, Yahweh judgment, valley of decision. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. It say, come get ye down, from the press is full. The fat overfloweth, for the wickedness is great. It say, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall not withdraw their shine, and the stars shall withdraw their shine, while nuclear missiles are going to be blocking them out. It said, the Lord shall roar from out of Zion, and order his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall be shaken. Missiles dropping and quaking this thing. And probably also from the Lord in the atmosphere, bringing a whole different vibration to it at the same time, probably. Just speaking as man at the part. It said, the heaven and the earth should shake, but the Lord would be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Right? And that's the point. So, yeah, the Lord going to have these nations come and get together, man. They going to go to war. And Yahushua going to intervene, and all this is going to be for the sake of Israel, the Israelites. And the Lord just told you, he doing all this for the Israelites, not for everybody. If that bloodline, it ain't a black Hebrew Israel. How they trying to say black Hebrew Israelite? We Israelites. So, it don't matter what you look like, as long as your bloodline go back to one of them 12 tribes, man. You consider Israelite. You can look like any other heathen nation along their bloodline. It's one of them 12 tribes. You good to go, right? It's a lot. I want to go to Joel too, but it's all good, man. I just want to make that point that, we here at the door, man, for the Lord having these things to jump off with WW3 taking place and the Lord returning. But I'm going to close out by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, and I hope that will edify.